Hey, I finally have all 13 classes max level. The last one was my DK. The perfect time to make a tier list on how fun the specs felt. Again, this tier list is purely based on how much I enjoyed playing the specs. It's not a meta tier list, and it's obviously based on my opinion. Alright, let's get into it. As you can see, I've set up my tier list with Sign Me Up, S, A, B, Not Played, and Get Me Out. I think these tiers reflect my opinion about the classes the best, and small disclaimer at the beginning, obviously I have not played all of the specs, and I've not played all of them to the fullest, so some of them will end up in Not Played, because I didn't have time or did not enjoy the class at all, so that's why I not played it. But in general, I tried to play most of the specs and get at least some kind of opinion about them in Midnight, so I can make this tier list for you. Some of the content that I played with them is obviously lower level content like Delving, mid tier, low tier, M plus, like normal raids, stuff like that. And it might not be reflective of your kind of content if you're like pushing harder and you want to know about the class in a like competitive environment. This might not be the video for you, at least for some of the classes. Some of them I play at the highest level, and yeah, I think I can give a better opinion about them. But especially the first classes here are tanks on the list, and I'm not a main tank, so I have not played them in like any competitive environment. But I used them through leveling, and I did like a piece of endgame content with each of them to get an opinion on them, how they play and how they feel, how fun they are. And this is what I will tell you about in a second. So let's start with the tanks and my opinion on them purely based on how I leveled with them and like a piece of content I did at max level. But in general, I'm not a main tank, so I have no like deeper insights into the class design. But I will still judge them on how fun they felt to me. So Blood Decay goes straight to A tier. Very fun class to play. Very enjoyable class design. I enjoyed the rotating of the defensive cooldowns. I like the grip system that you can like mass grip and then do single grip the mobs into you. And in general, AoEing down mobs in tier 1 devs felt very satisfying to me, so I enjoyed that a lot. So very fun class design, very enjoyable to play. Same goes for Warrior. I really enjoyed playing Warrior. It's a character that I created in vanilla, so like basically 20 years ago. I still enjoy playing it, and from time to time I bust out the old protection spec and play it a bit. And all of the abilities feel very impactful. It's like the sound design and the visuals are very nice to watch. It feels very good to use your abilities and play the Warrior. And then obviously like leaping around and stuff like that is fun as well. So yeah, I enjoy playing Protection Warrior from time to time, even in a bit more difficult content. But again, I'm not a main tank. All right, so Brewmaster. I'm new to Brewmaster in this add-on. I've never played it before. A few of my friends are actually main tanks and playing Brewmaster currently, and I asked them for advice to how I play it, and I played it mainly through like delving, leveling content. It got a bit of time to get used to the spec, but I think the overall design and it's a bit silly. You're like throwing keks and breathing fire into mobs, but it's like fun to watch and kind of a enjoyable experience. I think it will actually. I'm considering B tier, but I think it will actually go up A tier just because it's like fun to watch and actually a bit silly to play. So yeah, this is quite enjoyable. Next one on the list is Paladin. And this one was a contender for Sign Me Up, but I have a few deductions which only puts it in S tier. So the spec is like very satisfying, very nice to watch, like your holy power, you like destroy things in your path and you like burn them with the light and stuff like that. So the class fantasy and the way you play it and your wings and stuff like that is all very like nice to look at, very fun to play, very enjoyable to see all of these numbers pop up on your screen. And then obviously, like I think it's called like Avengers Shield or something like that. You throw it out and you silence the mobs, and all of them walk to you. And yeah, it's kind of nice to play and very enjoyable. The deductions come from the playstyle being very spammy. So you need to like hit a lot of buttons in a short time. You have like off global cool like usage of global abilities you need to press, and I felt like very annoyed after a few hours because yeah, my hands start to hurt from like spamming the abilities so much. But in general, this one was so fun to play. Again, I'm a first-time Paladin this content. I asked a friend who's a Paladin tank main for a little bit of advice and a little bit of an introduction to the class. And I played it in Delving, a few of the raids, and I think a low level M plus as well. It was very enjoyable, very fun to play, very good class. So Vengeance, not enjoyable at all. It's actually a first contender for the Get Me Out. It will actually go into Get Me Out. I did not enjoy playing it at all. Many of my friends like have an alt DH tank, and they say, "Oh, it's so fun! It's so great to play it, and you need to try that." And finally, this expansion, I forced myself to try it. The style of the tank, Demon Hunter tank, is not appealing to me at all. And what I find not enjoyable at all is that you are relying so much on your cooldowns, and you are like very squishy if you are out of cooldowns basically. So I'm I did not enjoy playing it too much. The leaping around is fun, and the gathering of mobs with like sigils and stuff is fun, but in general, this is not something I see myself playing in the future for an extended period of time unless it changes a bit. That said, small caveat here at this point. Um, my friends told me that there was a playstyle that used to like explode spirit bombs or stuff like that, which was somewhat or very enjoyable to play, and you can no longer do that. So maybe they all talk about this kind of Demon Hunter tank, which is like it might be even more enjoyable. And if it ever returns, I guess I need to try it. But the version that I played this expansion was not enjoyable. I did not enjoy myself at all playing Vengeance Demon Hunter. Well, Guardian Druid. Druid is my main, so obviously I have played the spec before, and I bust it out from time to time if I need to like do something in tank. I think it's fine. I think I like the bear aesthetic. I like the like thrashing and raising and like you um, claw at your targets basically, which is like quite nice and quite appealing like visually. Then again, it's still like a quite boring spec. So there's nothing much happening, and even in your cooldowns, I feel like you're not doing something like special. You are not somehow crazy in any aspect. Basically, that's what I'm thinking. Compared to the Holy Paladin, the Protection Paladin, for example, in wings you like have glowy wings and everything pops around you, and you press Divine Toll, and there are numbers everywhere, and it's crazy. This like felt a bit underwhelming, a bit boring in my opinion. But still, it's obviously a good tank, and it got me through the content that I needed it to do. So yeah, still it goes into B tier because it was not that enjoyable to play, and this might even come from it being a tank. So yeah, might be that this is the problem. But for me, it goes into B tier. All right, let's start with the DPS specs. I think I will start with both of the Druid specs because the first one goes into not played. I have not played Feral. I have no intention to play Feral. I actually played it at the target dummy for like 10 minutes to explain the basics of the class to a friend who's just got into WoW, and he wanted to try out Feral, so I actually took the time to practice it a few minutes on the dummy to explain him the basic rotation and how he has to use his talents and stuff like that. But even this 10 minutes, I did not enjoy it, so I'm not continuing to play it, and I don't take like a session at the target dummies like a serious play session, so there was no danger, there was nothing happening, so yeah, it goes into not played. Balance Druid, S tier, S plus. It's insane. Balance Druid is insane in Midnight. It's so fun to play. You have like the smaller cooldown, which allows you to like custom Starfire instantly for one use. You are going into the Eclipse and obviously doing more damage with Starfire. Then the way Starfall works, still one of the most amazing abilities ever in World of Warcraft. I love it. I love playing Balance. It's so enjoyable. Sadly, it's scaling very much with the difficulty level of the dungeon. So the higher you go, the more important a balanced druid is, or the more you can like see the specific niche of a balanced druid. But in general, very enjoyable. The burst window, oh, I love it. I love how you can just like you pull the boss's bloodlust time and you just blast the boss with like I don't know 200k DPS ST. So it's so fun to play. It's so enjoyable. Balanced druid, definitely going into sign me up for it. I still play it. It's one of my main characters. So yeah, balanced Druid, huge. So next up, we will look at the two warrior specs because I just saw that they are above or like connected like this over here, and they caught my eye, so we will do them now. Arms, I tried it for one dungeon, did not enjoy it at all. Not sure what they did to the spec, but I used to play arms in vanilla and TBC, and it was like this huge hitting, high damage, slow spec, and it kind of felt awkward to me to play in Midnight. I did not enjoy it at all. So this was literally a straight get me out. I was just doing this dungeon and instantly pressing talents and respecking into Fury. Fury, obviously a bit better, but not that it's like hugely enjoyable. I think it would be at the same level as all of these tanks. The abilities and how they feel to use are quite impactful, so it's quite fun to watch your class do that. And in general, the spec is like it's easy to play in the sense that it feels like a good flow. It flows very very well to me. So that's why I think it ends up in A tier. But again, I did not play my warrior much except for like the leveling part and then a few mythic dungeons. I usually do like one +10 on the warrior each week. Not too much enjoyable the entire class in Midnight. All right, let's go to the probably most controversial thing I'm going to say in this video, and it's Devour Demon Hunter is a straight get me out. I did not enjoy this class at all, and I wanted to enjoy it so bad. I like the visuals so much. This class looks so fucking amazing. The blinking around is so cool. I love the class design. It's so good, but I did not enjoy this class at all, and I tried it so much. I tried to make it work so much, but I did not enjoy it at all. You need like very specific pulls in M plus. You need like combat. You need to like ram properly and then have big pulls where you can like blast your collapsing stars. I think you are quite reliant on very good gear, so this class does not work with low level gear or wrong stats or stuff like that. Which all of them felt like so bad to me. I was not enjoying myself, and I was like actually getting a bit angry when playing this in M plus because it did not click with me. It did not enjoy it at all. I played it a few bosses in the raid, and again, it's I don't like this kind of playstyle. You are too much punished for making like small tiny mistakes. For example, if you if you pick a priority mob in a pack, and then all of your DPS is blasting this priority mob, and it dies while you cast Collapsing Star on it, then your Collapsing Star will go on cooldown, and you will likely drop out of meta. So having your teammates like not focus the focus target or being obviously in a high level dungeon where it doesn't matter um, is like a crazy optimization you need to do for a class that you just want to like play a bit and have a bit of fun at. It's not fun to play, in my opinion. For me at least, I did not enjoy it at all. It was so terrible that I actually went Havoc with the wrong gear. Basically, I had like int trinket, one int weapon, and all of my haste gear from Devourer, and I swapped to Havoc because I did not enjoy myself at all playing Devourer. So yeah, sadly, this one is a get me out, and I wanted to make it work so bad. I love the class design; it looks so good, but yeah, not enjoyable at all. I don't like it. Havoc, on the other hand, is a bit better. I don't think it goes into A tier even. I think it goes slightly above the Guardian tank. Um, I don't like the like heavy movement, dashing around build where you need to like keep up the inertia and stuff like that. And you have like these small burst windows where you like blast a lot and then you need to like be careful to pack all of that into the burst window. I more like the playstyle that you had like in Shadowlands and Storm of Legion, where you have like obviously a huge burst window based on your meta, and then you have like consistent bursty damage in between, but not with the restriction of having some of your abilities basically bound to create movement to play it. I actually never played the momentum build because I hated it when I first tried it, and the inertia build is kind of a little bit like momentum in my opinion. So yeah, not much of an enjoyer currently, sadly actually, because this is one of my main alts usually where I would play my main character, and this one is my second or third highest geared character, but not this content. I actually degraded it on my list, on my character list. I moved it from the first 4 slots to the second 4 slots because I'm not playing this a lot. I'm usually doing like 1 or 2 keys a week, and then that's it. All right, I see Warlock, so we do Warlock next. Affliction Warlock, nice to play, very enjoyable. I played it in a few delves to level with like Soul Harvest, and that was very nice to play. It felt so good to press this button. And I played it in some decently high keys, like plus 12, plus 13, I think, were my affliction keys. And it was nice to play. I played it a bit on Dragon's Heroic, where I like can like seed into the ads and like cheese a bit. And it was fun to play. It's a very simple rotation, but it's like quite enjoyable. And I like the class design. I like how it works. So it's very nice to play. It's not like exceptional. It's not like it's huge fun, because you're not like insanely blasting, and blasting for me is actually quite important, especially in AoE. That's why Balanced Druid is up there. If you have like huge pulls with 40, 50 mobs, and you like press Starfall and everything on your screen lights up, that's fucking amazing. And I felt I don't have this feeling with Affliction that much. It's still enjoyable, don't get me wrong, but it's like not a sign me up yet. On the other hand, Demo, straight sign me up. I love to play this spec. It feels so good. The rotation is so clean. The visuals are nice. You have a lot of like these huge demons like the Pit Lord and then this Imp Mother, I think it's called, where she like casts these like laser beam thingies on the targets. It's so enjoyable to play. It looks so good. It blasts insanely good. I think it's my highest DPS spec currently, the one that I play the best in most of my dungeons. I think I did a plus 15 on the Warlock last week, and this was very enjoyable. So great class, great design, great rotation, great flow. Everything is good about it. It's great. I love it. Next up, we have Destruction Warlock, and this one is straight to S tier as well. The way Chaos Bowls work always intrigued me. It's like so nice to have this ability that you prepared, you cast it, and then you see it fly and it impacts and it feels so good. It feels so satisfying to cast these chaos balls and to play it. And I played it a bit in raid and I played it in like 1 or 2 in plus dungeons. So I have a bit of an idea of what they are doing. But in general, I just like the class design very much. Most of the time, I obviously played demo, but for some of the boss fights where I expect destruction, it was very enjoyable to play, and I still think the class design of the spec is very good as well. So very nice, very enjoyable. The Infernal is obviously a very cool pet that you can call down, and then it impacts the target and does his job. So it's very nice, very good, very enjoyable. All right, next up, Mage, and uh, it's a bit difficult. To be honest, actually, I should probably put these into not played because I think I played this one in one dungeon and I think I played this one in one boss fight, and except for that, I only played it at target dummy, so not in a real scenario. So yeah, I should probably not talk too much about these two mage specs. I really enjoyed Fire in BFA, and I was like actually considering to main swap to it and played a mythic raid on it and stuff like that. So I have some idea how a good fire mage should feel like and how it should pump. And currently, I don't feel like it's too enjoyable. Then again, I have not played it too much. It's a bit of target dummy DPS and then like one boss fight. And then Arcane, I played it at the end of season 1 in Dragonflight, I think. And then back then it was like very like burst heavy and very enjoyable to play. For me currently, I don't enjoy it at all. I played it at a target dummy and then like again like one dungeon. So yeah, it's not it. I did not enjoy it at all. On the other hand, Frost Mage is insanely good. Actually, it goes straight to the top of S tier, almost going into sign me up. Um, I like Frost Mage. Always loved that it's quite simple. I always love that it's like cleaving 2 targets. So that's very enjoyable. The concept of you casting Orb and then your Blizzard is instant is quite enjoyable as well. I kind of like that you don't have to swap out your rotation if you're going from single target to AoE. It's basically the same thing. You're doing the same rotation. That's another thing that I quite enjoy about Frost Mage. And then, at least for me personally, this was one of the classes that blasted the most in low gear. I was like 235 and did like the same DPS as other people with 255 or something like that. So like a 20 item level difference. And the spec was just so good. It felt so good to blast. And the visuals are obviously quite nice. So yeah, Frost Mage definitely on the top of S tier for me, and the kind of feeling that that I got playing it. It was very enjoyable and very nice to play. We are doing the rogue specs now, and this one will be quite a difficult class to do. I have not played them at all. I not even changed my spec ever to them, so I can give no opinion on these two. I played Outlaw a bit in, I think it was BFA, and I did not enjoy it. So at this point, since this point, I never touched Outlaw ever again. So yeah, and I played Assassination and Sub a bit in Dragonflight, and as soon as I discovered how to make Sub work, I basically never swapped back to Assassination. Previous to that, I enjoyed Assassination a lot and kind of liked the playstyle of like basically multi-dotting and keeping everything up and blasting DPS like that. But since I discovered how sub works and how I can make it work for me, I never went back to Assassination ever. So since basically mid of season 1 in Dragonflight, I have been a sub rogue, and I never looked back. So yeah, sub rogue, very enjoyable. Goes straight to S tier. I'm thinking about giving it a small deduction for like the simplicity of the rotation, that you basically don't have cooldowns and you press everything when it comes up and then you just blast. But I think it goes still into S tier because it's still enjoyable to play. You have a lot of possibilities in the defensive department. So you can like feint, you have your vial, you have vanish, you can like sprint to evade abilities, you can like cloak. You have a lot of stuff that you can do. You can stun, kick, blind. You have so much utility that's quite enjoyable, that it's not that bad, that your rotation is actually quite simple, like two buttons, literally. Yeah, Sub Rogue, definitely very enjoyable to play, very nice. I'm not playing it too much. I'm doing like 1 or 2 keys a week on this character, because there are just other characters that I enjoy more. But it is a good class, and I think it will actually go to the like second place in S tier, because these two specs are very fun to play for like 1, 2 keys a week and maybe one raid a week. Um, but they are not like main character material in my opinion, because they are just not fun enough to consider that. Okay, the next one is actually a huge surprise for me. Elemental Shaman was so much. I never felt so much enjoyment playing a new class at all, and I think just for that feeling that it made me feel in the first few dungeons that I played it, I think it will go straight to sign me up tier. It was so good to play this. It felt so nice. The visuals and the sound effects are amazing. The burst window is like crazy. It's so fun to play this class for the first time. I've played Ellie before, like small amounts and like 1, 2 dungeons back in BFA, I think, but never like took it seriously. So yeah, this experience of like learning the class, understanding how to play it, and then obviously playing it in dungeons, one of the greatest experiences in Midnight so far. It was very fun to play. Enhancer, not played. Sadly, I didn't find the time to even try it. I don't have the gear to try it. So yeah, this class sadly is going into the not played, because I have no idea. I have no idea what this class actually does. I know it's kind of a melee shaman, and I know it like has Wind Fury, I think. Not even sure if that's still in the game, honestly. But yeah, I have no idea what the enhancer is doing, so I can't really judge on that class, and should not judge on that class. All right, hunters, and in the same tier as these goes survival. I have not tried it. Survival is actually the spec that I did my 0.1% and plus title on. So I played it a lot in Shadowlands, and presumably, if the design is the same, I can say that it's okay, enjoyable. If it's still like that you don't really have to be in melee to like throw your bombs and you do most of your damage with your bombs and you're getting resets on that, then yeah, this class can be enjoyable, but I don't like Melee Hunter at all. So I basically just only played it because I needed to play it for the title, but I never played it outside of that. Maybe one boss fight, not sure. But in general, I when I play Hunter, I don't play Survival. So yeah, that's why it's end up in the not played. On the other hand, BM Hunter, one of my favorite specs, if not my favorite spec all time. I like that it's so simple. I like that you can do everything while you are moving. I like the burst window that you have so much power that your cooldown is so short. It's so enjoyable for open world content, for delves, for low end plus, for high end plus even, for raiding. It's good in everything it does. The only caveat to BM Hunter is that you have a pet. You are a pet class, obviously. And this can be a problem because the pet sometimes gets stuck or you randomly forgot that you were fighting target dummies and your pet was on passive and stuff like that. So yeah, there's obviously every time you play a pet class there's some caveat to it that it is a pet class and that your pets can have pathing issues or other stuff and that can be a problem. But in overall in general, this class is very fun to play. I like the kind of defensives that you have two charges of your small defensive, that you can heal yourself, you have an immunity, you have so much utility. This class is so fun to play and it's so good. And it's a bit sad that it is quite undertuned or was quite undertuned at the beginning of the expansion because this was the reason that I kind of neglected my hunter a bit. I did not enjoy it as much because I did not want to play MM, which I will talk about soon. But yeah, the BM spec was a bit undertuned, so I did not enjoy it as much. All right, MM Hunter. Haven't played it much, like one boss and like 2 or 3 dungeons. Did not enjoy it at all. It goes into B tier. It's not bad. It's not like that. I want to say like get me out. And it I think it will go to the top of B tier, but I did not enjoy it. It was not fun. It was how to describe it even. Your cooldowns when you press like True Shot and stuff like that, it still felt impactful. It still felt like good to use them. But I felt like, for example, Rapid Fire is doing nothing. And you have, I felt like you have nothing to press really. And I don't know, it felt like kind of awkward and weird to play. And I did not enjoy it. I much rather play BM. So yeah, this one ends up in B tier for me. Not that fun. All right. I think it's time we talk about Evoker. So Devastation Evoker, never liked this class, not played it much, hasn't changed since. I played it for like a few delves where I needed to do it and like a prey hunt or something like that. But I don't enjoy it. I never enjoyed it really. So it ends up in not played. My opinion on it is that in my opinion, it's not as fun as it could be. So there is a lot of improvement that Blizzard could do to make this class more fun. Obviously, it's an Evoker, and that is something that might bump it up into one tier above, just for the utility and the stuff that Evoker brings with him. But yeah, I don't enjoy it as much, and so I played it very little, and this is why it should end up in not played, and I should not give too much of an opinion on it. But so you know why it ends up here is because I did not enjoy it. Augmentation Evoker. This one is interesting because not too long ago, like 2 weeks ago, I would easily put it in Get Me Out instantly and call it a day because I did not enjoy this class at all when I first started playing it. And the main reason for that is actually Blizzard's fuck up because they cannot design a DPS meter where you can see what you're actually doing. And you join a dungeon. I was doing a leveling dungeon with my Augmentation Evoker, and I was like doing like I don't know, let's say 1.5k DPS, while other people did like 8 or 10. Uh, and I was wondering, what the fuck is going on? Why is my class not playing the game? What am I doing wrong? So, and then I talked to a few friends who actually played Orc. I was not playing actively while this was introduced, so this was my first time playing Orc. and first time understanding what the class is actually doing. And I talked to a few friends who played Orc, and they told me you can't see it in the DPS meter. It's not working. You need to like check logs, and anyway, this class only works if you have good other DPS in your group and in high level content and with good players and stuff like that. So I kind of was very frustrated with the class, and I said I don't want to play this ever again. And then the teammates I did my title with in Shadowlands said that they were going for M plus again, and they needed an augmentation evoker. And I said, well, fuck this, I'm not doing this. And then kind of convinced me to play it for 1 week and see how it goes. And yeah, I played a bit of content in that week, like a few raids, and the main reason actually main it now and swapped to it now is that I played a few keys with my group, very insanely good DPS, and people who actually know how to play with an augmentation evoker. And then this was actually quite enjoyable and so much fun. And now that I know more about the class, that I really understand the class, and that I got into the details with it, I think it goes into S plus and is actually an insanely good class design. It's very easy in the sense that the rotation is very simple to play, but you have so much utility. You can do so much stuff with this class, and the ceiling of this class is very high, I think. So it's very fun to play because it's like in quotes easy to get into if you have good DPS in your group who can actually blast, so that you do more damage. Yeah, that is quite enjoyable. And an asterisk on this class, you really, really need to look at Warcraft logs if you play this class, because judging your performance on the details or the Blizzard DPS meter is fucked up. It doesn't work. You cannot see anything. You cannot make any proper assumptions about how good or bad you played the dungeon, which is actually quite sad that an internal DPS meter is not covering one of the most difficult to judge specs in the game. Is crazy to me. How is this possible? It's insane. But yeah, I solved it by just logging every dungeon and then looking at the logs, and I think I'm getting quite good at the class, and I enjoy it very much. So it's awesome. So as some of you might know, my DK is actually the character that I leveled last, and I did not play Frost at all. I have no idea what this prac even does. I know that there's some kind of Breath of Sindragosa thing you want to keep up, and I don't know how it works at all. There's just no. I never played it. I have no idea. So this one is a truly not played. No idea. Never played it. So cannot judge it at all. Can be good. Can't be bad. I don't know. Um, and then we have Unholy, and I recently played the spec, so I have only the experience of maybe like 5 to 6 hours on the spec, and it fucking blasts insanely good. And you are so tanky. It goes straight to S plus. It's crazy. This spec is it's fucking illegal. I'm saying it. It's illegal that this can exist. You are so tanky. You have so much utility. You have like 2 grips. You do so much DPS in AoE and single target. This is like it's like a true hero class. It's so insane that this is allowed to be in the game. Um, I enjoyed myself a lot playing this for the few hours that I did last night. I already have Forset. I have like a mythic weapon, so this might be the reason that I'm like competitive in DPS, even though I'm like 30 to 40 item behind. Um, but it's so enjoyable. I think I did about like 100k DPS on what is the gun? Pit, like a pit plus 10 we did, and the other DK in the group, and we have like a friend who's playing DK as well, who was teaching me a bit. He was doing like 160 or something, so being only like 60% behind the full geared maxed out DK is crazy to me that this is even allowed. Furthermore, the survivability that you can basically stand in everything and just tank it with your defenses is crazy to me. It's so illegal. But yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of enjoyment. Very much would suggest this class to everyone who is like looking for a small challenge, but looks for a class that is basically good at everything. This class is so good. All right, Windwalker Monk. This one I used to play a lot in Shadowlands, and this is when Spin to Win was very good. Sadly, Spin to Win is no longer good, and you now use your Fist of Fury to like blast DPS. This class has a very, very high burst window, which can be obviously quite enjoyable, but the few things, the few raids and content that I played with it, it wasn't, it did not like catch me. So for me, it's like it goes into middle of the pack. It's okay. I think it might even be good, and I think it goes in front of all of the tanks, at least in A tier. But it's not like it did not blow my mind like it did in Shadowlands when I first discovered Monk for myself, and you played the spin to win spec where you basically spinning crane kick and tiger palm different targets, and then you just blast DPS and you used your cities like Sven and the ghosts thingies, and this was like so fun to play, which is like not the same thing right now. It's not like crazy spectacle. It's more like a more mute, more in behind the scenes, nice to play spec, but not like spectacular cool spec to play. So yeah, it ends up in A tier. All right, red is a difficult one as well because I have two experiences on red. I played it in a +10 dungeon and I absolutely destroyed this dungeon like crazy. It was crazy how much damage this class can do if you have proper pulls and you can like burst on your perfect CD window. So when people actually pull for your cooldowns for your 1 minute, and you have a huge pull every minute, this is like insanely fun to play. On the other hand, I had an experience where we have like a weekly no lever key, and yeah, let's say we pulled small, we pulled like 2, 3 mobs each pull, and then we wiped to the boss, and oof, this class, yeah, it's a bit difficult. I think it can be very fun if everything lines up perfectly for you and you can like blast huge DPS numbers and stuff like that. The visuals of this class are amazing. Obviously, this is the same as Protection Paladin. You have so much going on, so much effects and light and stuff going on that it looks very cool. But I think it is an S tier. It is probably at the middle of S tier, maybe just in front of the tank. Maybe like this. So this is a class that I love to play 1 or 2 keys a week, but I would never ever main this because there's too much going on in your keybinds. You need to like spam buttons way too much. This is like a problem for me, especially. And then yeah, I think it is a bit hit or miss. So it might be good for like the the easy keys like the +10s weeklies, like the to cap your vault. This one is enjoyable, but I can imagine that it is getting quite difficult to enjoy this and play this at the highest level. So for me at least, I think it will end up in the middle of S tier. All right, Shadow Priest. Surprising S plus candidate. And I think it will actually go like here, right behind Demo Lock. I think Demo Lock is actually in front of Balanced Druid, by the way. So maybe this is the order that is correct. Maybe even like this. Yeah. I think this is the correct order. Shadow Priest, very cool in the sense that the visuals again are very nice, very satisfying, very amazing to press your buttons. And I played a spec where you have like this void kind of beamy thing. I think it's called Void Torrent, where you can like cast on the target and it's a channel, but you can move around. So this is like so enjoyable and so easy to play because anytime you like have an ability where you like need to move for a mechanic or stuff like that, you either have an instant mind blast that you can press, or you can press this torrent and then move around and reposition yourself. So the class feels very fluid and very nice to play in M plus environments, and you do so much damage. The DPS of this spec is very good, very enjoyable as well. To like um, yeah, psychic link everything that is dotted, and it's so easy to dot everything with tentacles. So yeah, it's very nice to play, and I would suggest it actually as kind of a beginner spec because I think there's not too much you can do wrong with this class, and I think it can be very enjoyable for a beginner, especially if you are like not comfortable with playing in close range and melee. This one might be an interesting class for you, and again, very fun to play. I enjoyed it so much during the leveling, during all of my M plus keys. I think that the highest that I did was like a +12, +13, I think. on the Shadow Priest, and yeah, this one was quite fun. All right, the healers. First of all, the healers that I don't play in Midnight: Holy Paladin, Disc Priest, and Shaman. I played a bit of Shaman actually, so maybe I can judge it. Let's return it to the bottom. I played a bit of Shaman during leveling, and I did like 1M plus. But yeah, Holy Paladin and Disc Priest were not played at all, so I have no idea how they even work, what they are doing in Midnight, so they end up and not played. Um, okay, now let's judge the things. Uh, Monk here. I don't understand too much about it, but the bit that I understand is that you kind of want to have your target in range. You kind of want to play somewhat in melee. So yeah, I don't enjoy that, but it's not like a get me out. It was not too bad to play it. Maybe I shouldn't judge it at all because I haven't played it too much. Um, It's it's okay. It should end up in A tier, I think. At the bottom of A tier that is, because I did not enjoy it at all, but it wasn't like feeling too bad. So I was considering B tier for a moment. I even was considering Get Me Out because it's like a melee, or at least it can get melee mechanics. Um, but in general, I think it wasn't too bad for the boss fight that I played it. I only played it in one boss fight. It took a few tries, so I have a bit of experience on it. But yeah, I don't feel it. It wasn't like it did not leave an imprint on my mind at all. Basically, it was not enjoyable, but not bad either. So yeah, I think bottom of A tier, top of B tier is kind of where I would put this. I think you might need to spend more time on it or I need to spend more time on it to actually gauge how to enjoy the spec. Because I know a lot of people enjoy it, but for me, it's not it. I don't enjoy it at all. On the other hand, Preservation Evoker is awesome. It's so fun. I think it goes behind Ellie. Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot. I played it in Dragonflight, obviously, even in Mythic raids, so I have a bit of an idea what it does, and I enjoyed to play it so much in dungeons and in raids as well. Preservation Evoker, very fun to play, very cool class. Obviously, it is an Evoker, so it has some crazy utility with rescue and stuff like that. So yeah, this one actually quite enjoyable. At least for me, I played it a bit, and it was enjoyable. So Shaman is actually going into B tier. I think it goes straight behind Hunter. I did not enjoy it too much. It was okay, so nothing to write home about. I think it was even a bit worse than Mistweaver, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it was even a slight bit better. Actually, no. It does not feel too good, in my opinion. It's not impactful, in my opinion. It doesn't feel good to play. It hasn't. There's no flow to it. As an evoker, you have like this flow. It's almost like a different state of mind that you turn on when you play this class because you like think about the positioning of your teammates and you get into the fight and you plan your abilities. You think into the future and stuff like that. Pretty similar to Resto Druid actually. Um, but as a shaman, I kind of felt like I'm reacting to stuff, and the reaction is usually pretty okay. So you have like utility that you can use, but it's not like it did not feel impactful. It did not leave an imprint on my mind. Um, Playing this class, there was no wow moment like this. So yeah, kind of middle of the pack, kind of a bit lower actually. So B tier it is. And then we have Holy Priest, which is quite a bit better. I would say it was close behind the tanks in enjoyment. Maybe even here. I played it for my solo Nuleus challenge. Watch that video if you haven't seen it. This one was actually quite interesting. The ability where you replace your Sanctify, basically, so the ability is no longer usable and it turns into a passive where you use your Serenity to actually group here, is quite an interesting concept. This wasn't the case when I last played Holy in, I think, Shadowlands. So yeah, obviously there was quite a bit of iteration to the class when I got to play it now, and I kind of liked it. I enjoyed it. I played it in a few boss fights as well, and it was okay to play. It was enjoyable. I had a few of the moments where it felt like, yeah, I'm doing something. I'm impactful. My class feels good. So yeah, this one definitely enjoyable. Okay, last but not least, my main character, the Resto Druid. Um, yeah, where do we put it? I need to think about it. Actually, this is not easy. Um, I don't like the playstyle where you spam regrowth, so this is definitely a deduction to the class. I'm very much a person that enjoys rejuice spamming and then buffing up wild growth with Sword of the Forest, which is obviously no longer possible. And then doing huge convokes, huge flourishes, huge tranks, like ramping up into like these high intensity HPS windows, is the playstyle that I enjoyed most on Resto Druid. And yeah, it kind of changed a bit in Dragonflight even, where regrowth got more impact on your playstyle, and you were using it more frequently. And I think now it's even more important to actually use regrowth. So yeah, this is not the playstyle that I enjoy. Then again, it's still Resto Druid. It's still a very high mobility class. It's very cool class design. It's, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best class design overall in World of Warcraft. Dreamgrove, the best class hall, obviously, in World of Warcraft. It's very enjoyable to play. The concept, the visuals, the sounds, everything is good about Resto Druid. That's obviously why I main it for so many years. Um, yeah, where do I put it? Actually, I don't think it ends in. It's a bit tough. I want to say, or I was planning to say it does not end in S plus and rather goes into S tier because of the deductions that I want to do with regrowth spamming and stuff like that. But then again, still, I lock on this class and it's always a good time. I basically I never have a bad time playing Resto Druid. Obviously that comes from me being very comfortable with the class, but I think for me it's at least worse than Balance right now. Balance is way more enjoyable, and I think it's actually worse than Preservation Evoker. So I might be putting it here. It's still going into S plus because it's Resto Druid, and the deductions are basically done within the tier. So usually when this class would be regio spamming and you could buff wild growth and do huge ramps, then this class would end up in the top of S tier, S plus, in front of everything because I love this class so much. But for now, in the current state that it is, it's not. I think I enjoy all of these classes more than Resto Druid. So this is actually quite weird to say to see that I have 7 classes or 7 specs that I rather play than Resto Druid. Kind of interesting. And actually, I just noticed I have 2 Evoker specs in the S plus tier, which is like crazy to me as well. All right, I think this is the tier list. The Get Me Out tier is definitely a very strong opinion of myself. All of these classes were straight. I leave this dungeon or I end this dungeon, and as soon as I get out of this dungeon, I get me out of the spec. I instantly swapped specs. Except for Devour, maybe where I give it like a week or two of trying and practicing it, and because it is a new class, obviously I need some time to learn it as well. But even after all of the practice, even after reading up on it and talking to people who actually play it good, I did not enjoy it at all. So yeah, this is a very strong opinion of myself right now. As soon as the class changed, I will obviously try it again because I like the visuals so much. I would love to love this class, but for now it's not. It's not for me. Not played is obviously not played, so not much to say here. And then B tier, I think this is fine. I think all of these classes end up in B tier for a reason, and I would probably not touch them if I don't have to. That even counts for A tier as well. All of these specs are basically only played for when I need to do them. So when I need to do a weekly key on my monk, I will play Windwalker because it's even higher on the list than the other two monk specs. Actually, I will degrade this. So this one goes into B tier. It goes slightly in front of Shaman, but now thinking about it, it's actually feeling worse than Hunter, and it's not on the same level as a Fury Warrior in enjoyment. So this one goes down a bit. And then, yeah, all of the tank specs, again, I don't play tank much, so take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, all of these specs are only played if I have to do it. So if I have to do a key on my warrior, I would probably go Fury over tank because I'm not a tank, but tank is actually more enjoyable than Fury. And then basically for all of the other classes, I have something in S or S plus. All of these specs I enjoy very much. Warlock is, I think, overall the highest on the list with a lot of specs up there, all three of them. And then Evoker with like 2 specs. Very surprised that augmentation is actually so enjoyable that I end up putting it in S plus, sign me up tier. So yeah, I hope they will give another small buff to BM Hunter and make it even a tiny bit stronger. And then this would easily like jump to the top of the list because I love BM Hunter so much. All right, that's the tier list. I hope you were able to follow my subjective, obviously, opinions about the classes and how fun they are to play. Mainly, I based my experience on how I enjoyed them in M Plus and in dungeon content. Some of them are obviously more enjoyable in raid content, and when you don't play much raids, then obviously it's difficult to judge that. But yeah, mainly the opinion is based on M Plus for most of these characters. And yeah, I think it's a good baseline if you have no idea what you want to play. You should definitely try out the S plus and S tier classes because they are very enjoyable and fun to play. And some of them, at least the Augmentation Evoker and I think Demolock are still like good in the sense that they are meta classes, obviously. All right. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, it would be nice if you like and subscribe. See you on the next one. Bye bye.